name is Tyler Leslie, and I've been coming here for 10 years. I've always liked the science fair, the harvest fair, the picnic, the play, and the Sacramento trip. But I'll never forget the Slide Ranch trip. I remember when we were in Cypress Tunnel. Wait, that's Jay's story. I'll let him tell you that. I also remember I was so hungry on the car ride there. I said, "I love popcorn." Captain McCormick said, "No, Tyler, that's a skunk." We laughed the rest of the way there. I also remember the advanced camping trips and the epic water fights. I got soaked and soaked others. And who could forget the grad trip to Puerto Rico? I really like the bioluminescent bay, which is a body of water that when disturbed turns a light blue. I also like being with my friends. Now I'd like to give thanks to my grandparents for picking me up, dropping me off, and making sure I had more grandparents at Grandparents' Day than anyone else. I'd also like to thank my parents for being supportive and helping me through this school, especially my mom with her famous fried chicken for hot lunch. I'd like to thank my friends, especially Jay and Isaac, for making every time a great time. I'd like to thank the teachers as well. Oscar, for just being hilarious. And Catherine McCormick. I remember when we had to do the police report in grade books. If you looked suspicious, it was under the interrogation lamp for you. But at this school, I've learned how to learn. I've learned how to be social, how to find common ground with people, and how to get things closer. Next year, I'm going to the Queen of All Saints School. Although I'll miss this school, I'm looking forward to my new school. But this school prepared me for life, and I'll never forget that.
Hi, my name's Emma again. I've been at the school for 9 years, 4 since I was 2. I've learned lots of life lessons here. Some funny, like when I was in 3rd grade. Every year, the 3rd graders go camping overnight at Slide Ranch. While we're there, we learn about nature. There's a tunnel there called Cypress Tunnel, but Jay will tell you about that because it's his story. My story is that I was petrified about going down the trail to the ocean. There was no rope, it was steep and really slippery. Everyone was excited except me. I was last, and Catherine McCormick was behind me for support. And she wasn't scared like everyone else. You had to slide on your butt. I felt really happy I made it down, but then I was scared about going up. The lesson is to have faith that you can do things and not think you can't before you even start. In kindergarten, the photographer tricked me into smiling with my mouth open by making me say Hawaii. But in the end, I looked cute.
Yeah, you did.
In the junior elementary, we were planting peanuts in the ground. Neither of mine grew, but other people's did, so they shared and I got to eat theirs. I've also learned other lessons. I've learned what friends should really be by personal experience and girl meetings with Kathy Panis, my ex-head teacher. At the influence of my teachers, I've learned that no matter what, there's always a better side to things, like in my children's house story. There are so many more lessons, emotional and behavioral, I've learned here at this school. I'm so nervous about going to a new school. I haven't been to any other school than this one, but I know that what I've learned here, I can bring to my new school. It's a real bittersweet moment because I'm sad and scared out of my wits about leaving, but I'm also excited about meeting new people and learning how to adapt to new situations, like I did in my Slide Ranch story. Concordia gave me the curiosity to learn new things. I'm going to miss so many things, like knowing the campus so well that I could walk around with my eyes closed, or being able to hug everyone without it being awkward. I'm going to miss Kathy's special circumstances, and most of all, I'll miss being in such a positive and loving environment. It motivates you to be better than you think you can. I want to thank everyone, but especially my friends in 6th grade, and Carla, Isaac, Unity, Paige, Juliana, and Moya. I want to thank Concordia for making me the person I am today. I most of all want to thank my parents for always supporting me. Mom, my rock, and Dad, my pillow. I love you, and I thank my sister for always defending me. I will cherish my years here forever. Thanks and bye. Wish me luck.
Things from past that made many memories throughout my years here. Two people I've been friends with for a while are Unity and Paige. We became friends when I was in second grade and they were in first. When I was in the juniors, I really liked my teacher, Libby. I also enjoyed it when Catherine McCormick would come over during playtime. In fourth grade, my first year in the advance, we didn't go camping, but we did go to Sacramento, which was enough to keep me happily laughing. One girl that became a really good friend of mine that year was Jasmine Bohr. She was the only grad that year, and when she left, I was very sad. She was not only my best friend, but also my bunkmate at Sacramento. My bunkmate in 5th grade was Caitlin. She was also one of my good friends and one of my camping tent buddies. My other tent buddy was Shay. She's become one of my best friends. She always knows how to make me feel better when I'm sad. I also became good friends with Carly and Malia this year. Camping was awesome. We'd all run around playing games like cops and robbers, talking in our tents, and making happy memories. One day of camping, Kathy called us over to tell us something. She asked us if we knew why. We thought we must have been too loud, but it was the opposite. Some people who were camping near us had said we were quiet and well-behaved. Kathy had pretended to be so mad I could barely believe her. This year was fun too. The grads had great books with Catherine McCormick. We read and wrote lots of stories. Some of the really fun ones were kind of scary. One time we were talking about Macbeth. It said that no man born of a woman could hurt Macbeth. Catherine was trying to help us understand the story better. So she said, "And where do babies come from?" We all stared at her until she said, "Scratch that! Who gives birth to babies?" That was another moment of laughter. I also really enjoyed it when Sarah would teach the advanced art. There was also the grad trip, of course. We went to San Juan, Puerto Rico. It was really fun. We went shopping, swimming, and much more. We even went to a rainforest. It was really cool. I was asked to say what I've learned here, and I have to say the answer is everything. I've been going here for, well, longer than I can remember. I've learned about friendships from experience. I've learned who my friends are and who I am. And I've been taught many helpful things. Like I said before, I can't remember everything, but I know I'm going to miss it, and I'm going to miss you all. I don't know what else to say besides thank you.
It's been school since kindergarten, but my friends think I've been here longer than that. I don't know why. In kindergarten, I remember building towers with blocks and staying up during nap time talking with friends using sign language. We never got caught by the teachers. In first grade, there was a bunch of new kids, and I made friends quickly. One of them, Kieran, left in second grade, but we're still friends. In second grade, during summer school, some of my friends and I built a suspension bridge out of connects. In third grade, I was gone for half the year. People were very excited to see me again. My slide ranch trip chaperones were Sarah and Catherine McCormick. When we were with the goats, the baby goats tackled me and jumped on my back. My favorite part was Cypress Tunnel, which is basically a bunch of trees woven together in a sort of obstacle course. I was the fastest through, but Jay is now a slide ranch legend. In the advanced elementary, I liked having more options to work with. I liked trying to be helpful, and if all assigned work was done, we got to do things like woodworking, recorder, memorizing songs, and chemistry. Chemistry was one of my favorite things to do when I could. It has always been a hobby of mine. I also like tasks, and my brain likes new challenges, like how to resolve friendships and problems between kids, and helping other kids understand when I'm joking. In fourth grade, I was never afraid of Kathy. She isn't scary. She has nice kids and cute bunnies. And I was terrified of law school. I didn't get to go camping that year, so we had a 3-day mahjong tournament and a water gun fight at the park. In 5th grade, my best friend, Isaac, came into the advanced elementary. It was fun to have him around. That year's camping was fun. Only 3 of the 9 boys knew what they were doing, so the others learned a lot. The people in my tent were Robbie and Andy. Our tent was on a slope, so every morning we were packed together like sardines. Sixth grade was the best. We got to lead and teach the younger kids. At camping, my tent group was Adam and Jake, 2 4th graders, so I was teaching the ropes to 2 new kids. My other big project was to organize the advanced elementary library. It took about 2 weeks to do. I got to make 1 shelf of books I recommended because of my work. I love the plays. They were one of my favorite things to do because I got to dress up as something crazy each year. I was a pig with my pig brothers, Tyler and Kieran. I was a naughty kid who did whatever he wanted, and I was a knight. Another time, I was a wannabe knight, and I had to wear tin armor. In 5th grade, I was a monster. In the 6th grade play, I was Motsov, and my brother, Jay, was Carrot. We were house sitting for the cousins, Thelma and Louise, but our characters did not know what they were doing. It was really fun to act clueless. I also got the last line of the play. Time has flown since I started here. It seems it's been in the blink of an eye before I was already graduating. Sometimes I wish I had savored each moment for a bit more. I have never had so much fun while learning things. I hope I have time to visit in the future. I will never forget my friends or what I've learned here.
I miss the school so much I begged my mom to come back. I wanted to come back because I love all the teachers here. They make work fun and they are really interactive with us. I also wanted to be in Kathy and Oscar's class because my brother was there and he told me how cool Oscar was and how scary Kathy was. And I thought, how scary can she be? But when I came back, she really was scary. I started out in the children's house. I liked how Penny taught the work and how we got to sit on the ground while eating. I still have my cup and I use it at school. One time after school I felt sick and Patty carried me to the restroom. I liked Patty, but I liked her even more ever since. I have a lot of memories about teachers. One day I felt scared before the picnic and my aunt comforted me. That was really nice of her. Also, I love doing PE with Sarah. I am so sad that she is leaving. Livy was a big part of my experience. She was a good teacher to have, and I liked how she taught. I like Lisa because I can always go to her for questions even when I'm not at school. She is a great addition to this school. I also love going camping with Gail and Rick. They are so fun. Bree is so out there in a good way. You can talk to her about anything and if she doesn't get it, she'll tell you. It's cool. She is a lot like a friend. Friends mean a lot to me. Everybody in my class is like my family. James is really fun to be around and always makes me feel better when I'm sad. Chris is like my big sister and looks out for me. When I get in a fight with one of my friends, I can go to another. Most of my friends like to be alone when they're mad, but I always like to talk about it. So I've learned everybody is different. Now I'd like to thank my mom for being an awesome mom and for letting me come back. That was huge. I would also like to thank my papa for always being a really good parent, and my brother Aiden, who would let me hang out with him when he was in the advanced and I was in 1st or 2nd grade. He's the best brother. Thank you, Catherine McCormick. Whenever I have a question, she is always there to talk about it. I want to thank Catherine Lindsay for being a great principal. She's a principal, right? I'd like to thank all the grads for being fun. I've known most of you since I was 2. And also Carla and Alma for being awesome and just being great friends. And Malia and Cahill for being nice friends, and Lizzie and Juliana for being there if I need to laugh. Thank you to every teacher. All of you have taught me something. My experience at this school wouldn't have been the same without you. I'm sad.
I've had for 6 years. But before I start, I want to thank my mom, my dad, Etta, Kathy, Oscar, Nasa, Livy, Lynn, Dee Dee, Eileen, Sarah, and the office. I started the school in 1st grade, in the juniors. The juniors was so much fun. I love learning about different places of the world and about tadpoles and invertebrates, rainforests, and SRAs. I love those so much. And reports on animals, I love that too. I give my reports every Friday. I love that those are one of my favorites. I love the juniors, but then I had to go to the advanced. I was a little scared because a lot of people said Kathy was scary. She's not scary at all. But it took me a long time to get used to waiting in line, waiting for Kathy, and spelling. I love going to Sacramento with all my friends. It was so much fun. In Sacramento, we visited a senator. He talked about how to make bills and laws. We, the advanced, got to do that at school. Oscar as the governor, it was funny. Oscar as the governor. Because he liked to veto the bills. I learned a lot in the advanced. Stuff about Neanderthals, chemistry, and a lot of cool stuff like that. I just had my testing for my middle school and I was so happy. I thought I did not do good because of my disability, but I did because I remembered of my idol, Albert Einstein. He was told that he could not succeed, but he did not give up. And if he can do it, I can do it. I will miss all my friends because they are great people. I miss Isaac and his magic tricks and him making me laugh, Unity being there for me, and Paige being funny, and Carla, a great friend. I will miss a lot. I will not say goodbye because it's never goodbye. The school and my friends will always be in my heart, and I will never forget them. And Cahill, don't forget about pancakes.
When you first came here, I said I got more polite. Well, I don't know. You're gonna have to ask my mom. I began my journey in the junior elementary. Libby and Lynn were my teachers. I still remember my first day when I walked into the classroom. I was completely clueless of who to talk to. I was nervous, but the people who are my best friends today took me under their wing. As I got to know them, it eventually became a friendship. In second grade, the play was the funniest and most important thing that year. I was a father of 5 kids. I had to keep them all in one spot. Now I know how you parents feel. I had one child who tarred and feathered someone. In third grade, slide bench was the most important thing that year. I remember going down to the beach, milking and playing with the goats. I also remember Bowling Grove, which is kind of a cemetery, except for the animals were not buried. Then there's the famous legend of me getting stuck in Cypress Tunnel. To get through, you have to crawl. There was a branch in the way, and all of us were debating with Sarah and Catherine McCormick whether we should go under, over. They said over, but I thought they said under, and I went under. That's when I got stuck, really stuck. I couldn't move. We all started laughing, but then I said, guys, can you please get me out of here? Catherine McCormick was behind me and Sarah was in front. So Catherine pushed and Sarah pulled, and I finally got out. Then comes the advanced elementary. Kathy and Oscar were my teachers. I will warn you about Kathy. She is scary to this day. In fourth grade, it was strange to adjust to the ways of the advanced because things went differently. Snack is different, lunch is later. The Sacramento trips are always fun. We got to meet Mark DeSagne, the senator for Alameda and Contra Costa County. He gave us a tour of the Capitol building and talked about his job. It's amazing. The camping trips are great. In 5th grade, we went to Henry Cowell and Santa Cruz. It was awesome. We went to a river and swam, even though the water was really cold. We hiked through beautiful trails among the redwoods. I realized that we go camping to get closer to nature. Then comes the grad trip. The grads went to Puerto Rico. It was absolutely beautiful. We have the class visited some amazing, beautiful, and historic places. I think this was a great way to end my time here. I have learned that the whole point of the grad trip is to learn to live with your friends for a week. It's not easy. The grad trip will be something I will never forget. Something else I will never forget is Great Books with Catherine McCormick. We have interesting discussions about Shakespeare, authors from around the world, and the stories they wrote. When you do great books, do not sit next to Catherine McCormick. I'm not going to tell you why. Now to thank people. I will first thank my parents and family for driving me 80 minutes every day, waking me up and paying the bills. And my friends. All of you stood by me for 6 years, making me feel good when I'm down and making me your friend. Now my teachers. You have taught not only math and geography, you have taught me to be kind and polite. And to Oscar, for not being a teacher, but a friend also. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Kathy Panis, and I confess to only a little bluster and high expectation. So the other day I was having a conversation with the grandparents at the breakfast, and they were kind of remarking about how far the parents drove their child to school every day. So I was trying to explain why I thought that was important and worth the trip, and I could tell I wasn't being very convincing. So later on that evening, I was kind of going over the whole conversation in my head as we do, and I was trying to look at it from their perspective, and the parents did get in their car every day and hit at least a couple of freeways, and I think there's probably a bridge involved, to come to Concord to take their kids to school in little houses. And just as a side note, my daughter brings her friends by to this day to prove to them that they went to school for 10 years in little houses. So then I thought of the rest of you and all the sacrifices you make, and a lot of you make long drives, and just the sacrifices that families make when they're paying tuitions. And so I was thinking, why do we make that sacrifice? And so I think it's because when we're looking for early childhood education for our kids, that we're really looking for more than someone to just teach our kids how to read and to factor a polynomial. And we're really looking for a template for life. And the template for life in Concordia is really teaching the kids how to have relationships with themselves and each other, relationships with their work and their environment, and relationships with their parents and teachers. And so it's worth getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning for 2.5 years to deliver newspapers so your child can be in Penny's classroom. And I do it again in a second. So it's because it truly is a template for life. So that's what I wish I would have said to that grandparent that day. Definitions. The student enjoys negotiating with Kathy to get her own way, and she enjoys doing snack with Nasa and singing the cooking song with Nasa. Shay McEwen. This student enjoys history recorder, especially when Kathy says, "What's that noise?" And Carissa Boyer. This student loves doing essays. He loved doing biology and physics. He liked to go into the history books and learn about the American Revolution. He got very interested in religion and politics too. Jay Dillon. This student enjoys math books because before you know it, you're in algebra. He enjoys the food bank, the early man city, more like the early man Hamlet. I added that. He likes PE, essays, and great books, which was both scary and fun. Tyler Alessio. This student enjoyed everything, but most of all spelling with Oscar and learning math with Kathy. She liked woodworking with the big saws and chisels. She liked doing the play and joking around with teachers. Teachers have the best jokes, especially Catherine McCormick and Gail. Alma Ogan. This student enjoyed art with Sarah, great books, camping in Sacramento. She also liked hanging out with her friends at playtime. Lizzie Padilla. And this student enjoyed science experiments, great books with Catherine McCormick. She gave them crazy assignments. This student enjoyed woodworking and homework, which was reading. Jeremy Sandhill.
I'm proud to present. Do this every year. I thought when my kids were gone it wouldn't happen, but I'm proud to present the graduating class of Concordia School 2013.